Why didn't I tell you that I was opening a bookstore? Listen, you are not the only one. I've had probably at least a handful of people say to me, girl, you open a bookstore? Like, what? Where is this coming from? Like, what happened? What did I miss? Why didn't you tell me? Listen, I really didn't tell a lot of people about this. I may have sprinkled it in a couple of conversations, and maybe like a couple of people have heard it actually come from my mouth over the years. But that's because I'm like maybe working with them directly. And you know that when you're with coworkers, things you talk about a lot because you see each other all the time, every single day. So like there's one particular person, Jody, who I worked with for 6 years. Every single day we saw each other. And so like we talked a lot about a lot of things. So she has known about this dream for a very long time. Other people in my life, not that you're not as close, but I've sprinkled it in maybe, or I've said like, oh, I wish I could get paid for reading, or, oh, I would love to have this someday. But like, I never really sat there and like told anybody a concrete plan. And that's because I didn't really have one. I study marketing all the time. I watch business videos. I am constantly learning about the business world. And I sell online. I've been selling online probably since like 2018-ish. And I've taught online. So I have made money online. I've made like probably about $50,000 just online from the past. But I've never actually thought that I could have like a brick and mortar business, like a storefront. I wanted one. I've even looked at places, but I never really told anyone that part of it because of fear, really. And I find the more that you talk about something, the less likely you're going to do it. So here's the story. I happened to be driving by the building one day on my way home from work. I drive by this building all the time. I've seen the sign in the window for rent a lot. Never really did anything about it. Last Monday, I just, for whatever reason, something in me was like, turn around and just go look in the window. So I did. I went and looked in the windows. I'm like, oh my God, that is so cute. It has 2 rooms. Like, oh my gosh, the dreams start coming out and all the fantasies about what I would do with this place. And I'm like, who do I think I am? Like, what are you talking about? But then there's a number in the window. So I was like, well, let me just call. Let me just see how much this would cost. As if I think that like this is really going to happen. Turns out I call and the landlord answers and says, oh, hey, I'm right down the street. Why don't I come meet you? Why don't I show you the place right now? And now, meaning like I was supposed to go bring my daughter to an eye doctor appointment. Turns out like that was canceled, but whatever. So I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm kind of pressed for time. I don't know if I can really do that. And then I'm like, oh, shoot, I don't want this woman thinking she's wasting time with me. Who do I think I am? Whatever. She turns out, she's like, no, don't even worry about it. Just come. I'll be right there. Hang out and I'll show you the place. So she does. And then I'm like, panic is seeking ink. So I'm like, who do I think I am? Like, this woman's going to be like, what do you... Yeah, it was just a thing. And I end up loving it. Of course, my mind is just swirling with ideas. And I was like, all right, I have to go home and talk to my husband. Like, he's going to be like, what is going on? Like, you're supposed to be taking Hannah to an eye doctor appointment? Like, why are you looking at places for lease? But my husband knows me well enough now that I am just somebody, like, I know what I want and I go after it and I get it. And I'm not going to sit there and talk about it for months and months and months and come up with a perfect curated plan and like measurements and all. That's just not who I am. If I find something and I like it and I feel good about it, like I go after it. I don't try on 16 different dresses. I find a couple and usually it's like the first one I try on. Unless it really doesn't fit, I'm like, this is it. I got it. I'm good. I am just not somebody that needs to have 1,000 options. I feel like having 1,000 options diverts you from the thing that you really want to do. So long story short, I convinced my husband. I'm like, this is what it is. I'm going to do this. Like, it's now or never. I really want to do this. And he's like, I got him on board. I was like, oh shit, now I really have to do this. But when I tell people, because I told a few people initially, and then I just got so excited, I did put it on social media. So there are some of you who definitely have been like, whoa, I feel like this is out of left field. And if that's you and you are kind of hurt by that, I am deeply apologize. It's not that I didn't want to tell you personally. It's just social media is so easy to tell everybody all at once. And I know it's not as personalized, but please don't take it personally. I wanted to tell each and every person individually. It's just, I don't have time for that right now because I got to move books into a bookstore. So if this seemed out of left field for you, I'm apologizing for that, but I think you all know I'm a book lover. I've always been a book lover. I've taken like a little hiatus depending on life circumstances, but I know my parents can tell you from the day like I could open a book and hold it on my own, I've been doing it. My dad has taken me to millions of books trips for Barnes and Noble and let me buy whatever books I want like my whole life growing up. So I've always been a book person, and to actually own my own bookstore has always been in the back of my mind. I feel like many readers always have that kind of dream in the back of their mind. It's just you don't always go for it, or maybe it takes you 39 years to go for it. I don't know, but here I am. Please don't be offended. I know a lot of you are kind of like, whoa, because you've told me, and I'm sorry for that. But I also want you to know that, like, if you have a dream, like, just go after it. Don't tell people about it. Don't plan it and all this. Like, obviously you have to be responsible. I'm not saying just like go into something willy-nilly. Like I've been doing business research for years. Like I'm not just going into this not knowing stuff. I know a lot. It's just now I'm actually going to be able to implement it in an actual building. But my point is go after your dreams and go after the things you want, because the more you talk about it, the less likely you're going to do it. That's my advice.